Coming up on the next Love Scope.
Dating in Atlanta is different. There's a lot of weird people out here, and it's like women are funny. Okay, so women only want you when you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like I think women have an obsession for wanting something they can't have. And I was married, and he was too.
Dating for me is a little strange. So I feel like I just attract the wrong crowd. So I'm a 6'6" athlete that drives a convertible. So.
Man, I want him. I want that. I want that for myself. So you know, you walk around with the wedding ring. Women, that's a lot of women's goal. So like they see.
So I attract a lot of I attract like a lot of ratchets, a lot of gold diggers.
Wow.
So my biggest problem is just trying to find someone who's genuine.
Okay.
So it's like, you know, that's the hardest thing, honestly, in Atlanta.
Today we have two special guests on the show. You want to introduce yourselves?
All right. Well, I'm Brandon O'Brien.
I'm George Brown.
Okay, guys. And so we are going to let these guys tell us what it's like dating in Atlanta as men.
Yep, we're gonna interview these guys. You won't see us. We'll be playing the back today, y'all. We playing the back, me and Felice. But we got some really good questions for these guys, so you guys stick around.
What was your experience like dating in Atlanta?
Well, I haven't had the experience of fully dating in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I went to college in Atlanta, and the first or second person that I dated in college, we were together up until this year. So I'm new
I'm new to
the dating scene in Atlanta as an adult versus like a college athlete, which wasn't really the best. But it's definitely tough.
How does it feel coming out of your new relationship? I mean, what do you feel now that you're not in a relationship and you're going into dating? How does that feel?
It's definitely different. It's an adjustment. Just knowing that you had someone to come home to every night, knowing that you had a cooked meal every night.
Wow.
Look at this man, y'all.
Wow.
Real talk. Like the first month we were separated, like I had ramen noodles for dinner almost every day. Like, you don't have to feel bad. Like it's by choice. It's by choice. But it was definitely an adjustment. Dating in Atlanta is different. There's a lot of weird people out here, and it's like. I mean, the whole start over process is just, you know, I went on a couple dates. Like, first of all, it's expensive. Like, girls want you to take them to Juicy Crab and Papados and Sundial and all kind of craziness.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay, so it's the month. Wow.
First date.
So the biggest adjustment for me has been like trying to go through this whole trying to impress stage again, and I really haven't really enjoyed it too much. So I kind of scaled back and was just like, I'm gonna just focus on work and like, you know, my business and everything, and then let all that come into play later on. So, you know, I kind of caught myself like trying to go like, you know, enjoy being single, and it's just not a fun.
Is it not what you expected?
It's definitely not what I expected.
Okay.
And I think, and this may be gateway into something else, but women are funny. Okay, so like women only want you when you're in a relationship, and like I know people joke about this all the time, but it's so.
The people in the back can't hear you.
Okay, women only want you when you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like I think women have an obsession for wanting something they can't have. And I was married, and he was too. So you know, you walk around with the wedding ring. Women, that's a lot of women's goal. So like they see, man, I want him. I want that. I want that for myself. So. I feel like the 7 years that we were together, I had way more women like, you know, throwing themselves at me or like, you know, kind of like making passes at me or whatever. And I feel like the energy's not the same now that I'm single. It's
And
like,
you can't find any of those
yeah,
women
it's like
today.
where y'all at? Like, where's that energy? So it's like they're like, oh, you're single, everybody can have you, I'm good. So it's definitely an interesting. I don't know how to explain it, but that's just my take on it, and it's been interesting, honestly.
A question. How did you find these dates? Like, the ones that you did.
Well, my it was a mixture of reaching out to girls that I knew from before, but we just were just friends, or for obvious reasons I was in a relationship, so they kind of respected my relationship. So, you know, reaching out to people like that. Tinder, I met a couple girls on Tinder, which I mean went on a few dates with those, but I mean nothing.
Was Tinder like a lot of people say Tinder is like the booty call app. So.
I mean not for women. Not for women trying to get men. I know a lot of men try to get on Tinder to have sex with women, but I mean, I genuinely matched with people, kind of like, you know, chatted with them for a few weeks to kind of feel them out, feel the vibe out, and then like probably set up a date later on. Went on a couple dates with a couple of them, like, you know, just something light, but that's pretty much it. And then like I've met people along the way too since I've been single that I've exchanged numbers with and went out with too, like in everyday life, like Walmart, stuff like that. So.
Oh wow, that is truly amazing that you have. I wouldn't believe. I haven't been out in the dating scene, so it's kind of shocking to hear that. So I can understand, you know, exactly where you're coming from, but it's just shocking to hear that women, you know, only want you. They're not interested in you being single. They're interested in you being taken.
Women like taking.
Okay.
Yeah, they like taking from others. So I mean, it's not all women, not generalizing, but that's, you know.
Okay, so you're not dating right now at this moment?
A specific person, no.
Okay.
No. I went on a few dates, but I'm definitely focusing on.
Are you gearing towards, you know, when you get back into dating, are you going to have specific goals as far as, I would say marriage or anything like that?
And I'm glad
are
you
you
said
looking towards that?
I'm glad you said that because that's been the difficulty in dating. A lot of the women I've met have been single for 3, 4, 5 years, and they're like ready to go right now, settle down, marriage, kids, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I'm in a different space coming out of a relationship. I'm not looking to jump back into something, but I'm not, you know, but we're too, you know, we're at the age where girls aren't trying to just fuck around, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to build for something. And I'm really not trying to jump right back into a relationship coming out of a 7-year relationship. So it's kind of a tough space to be in, which is why I recently just kind of locked into what I'm trying to do and just focusing on that, my career and everything. So it's I've come to that realization.
Okay.
I've met a couple women that wanted to like move faster than I was ready to move fast. And then I met a couple women that were just like, just not doing shit with their life. So, I mean,
wow.
It's a mixture.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So, Brandon, how has dating been for you in Atlanta? Are you from here?
Yeah, I'm from here. We actually both grew up in Stone Mountain.
Okay.
And we know each other pretty much our whole lives.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So how's dating been for you?
Dating for me is a little strange. So I feel like I just attract the wrong crowd. So I'm a 6'6" athlete that drives a convertible. So I attract a lot of I attract like a lot of ratchets, a lot of gold diggers.
Wow.
So my biggest problem is just trying to find someone who's genuine.
Okay.
So it's like, you know, that's the hardest thing, honestly, in Atlanta.
Wow.
So you can be on opposite ends of the spectrum and still have the same issue.
Right, because it's interesting to hear this from men because
we've basically, I feel like the most part I've heard is like, okay, well, I can't find a man because they're all gay, they're all this, they're all that, you know. And I think it's kind of refreshing now to know that that's not true in Atlanta, you know, from you two guys, that's not true.
I'll be honest, like, don't get me wrong, you do have a high homosexuality rate here in Atlanta,
Okay.
but it ain't as high as what females think. Like, I think they say that because they can't find a dude, because dudes ain't putting up with their shit. Because, like, honestly, you're in Atlanta, which is like capital of like the most wealthy black people in the world. So as guys, we expect you to come with some kind of standard.
Okay.
So like you say like, oh, he has to have a 6-pack, he has to be this, he got to be that, but you not that yourself.
Oh.
So now it's about humbling yourself. Oh, he's gay. Like, oh, he must be gay because he don't want me. Like that's what that comes from.
Wow.
It's not dudes that are gay. It's just like we expect you to come with something. You ain't coming with nothing.
Wow.
You know, pussy is there's
Yeah.
3 billion women on the world. There's 3 billion vaginas out here in the world.
Okay, so what do you, okay, so since you mentioned coming with something, what exactly do you want to put on the table? Do you want women to put on the table?
So now I know I would be happy if I found that someone could match me, right? But I know that's not possible, very plausible, right?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure there's a woman out there, but it's not very plausible. So when I say match me, I mean like match my effort, match my drive, match like, you know, I want to save so we can do this. Like match that. Like I don't want somebody, I'm trying to save, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, but you just want to spend, have fun, and then look up and be like, okay, now what are we going to do next?
Wow.
Now, since we're
Because-
talking about money,
Uh-huh.
now how do you feel about going half on everything?
Now, okay, so I'm really big on finances. Now, there's 2 ways you can look at it, right? Option A, let's say that you do have a couple that goes half, right? If you go 50-50, you pay, so let's say everything's $1,000, you paying 500. That gives that gives the man options and availability to invest in his business. That gives the woman options and availability to invest in her business. One of them are going to jump off. So in that scenario, you have 2 options of something popping off, right? If you do it the opposite way, let's say the man pays 70 and the woman pays 30, or however, where the man is paying, or let's just say the man's paying all of it, right? 100% of it, right? Let's say the woman is a spender, or let's say the woman tried to start a business and it failed. He don't have nothing and she don't have nothing. Which one is a better situation?
Wow.
Because like that's why I don't understand about it. Like I can understand like back in the day, you know, women weren't allowed to work. Like women were getting penny jobs, so you better off staying at home with the kids. I could understand it from back then.
And it was
but
the
now,
man's job to provide everything because
Right.
the woman couldn't. So she was, you know, the caregiver that took care of the kids, cleaned the house, all that. But it's a different age. It's 2019.
Huh?
Women have an equal opportunity to achieve financial freedom like we do. So
and I also ask women this too, who do believe men should pay everything. Do you know, with Atlanta being as wealthy as it is, do you know the median household income of a 2-person household with kids? It's $55,000. That means 2 people together are making about 26-ish, 26, 27. That's not that much. 2-person household income. So for somebody making 6 figures, like, yeah, that's cool, but that's the top 10%.
What did I say?
That's not average. That's not the average. That's top 10%. And when you realize like how much you are above or where you fall into that, you start thinking differently. Because like some people feel like, oh, I'm making 30, I'm making 40, oh, I'm not doing that well. I'm like, you are almost there by yourself. Like you're almost at medium or middle class by yourself.
So in your marriage, what was the standard for you guys?
as far as what?
Who paid what?
Well, in the beginning, I paid for everything in the beginning, but she, and this is the interesting perspective. Like she made more money than me pretty much the entire time we were together. Aside from when she was in school and I was working, because she was in school, I was working, and when she graduated, she was making more. So
Did that bother you?
it didn't bother me. But what bothered me was when she would throw it in my face. As far as like, you know, if something needed to be done, like we'll have an issue that doesn't have to do with money, and that's the only time it came up. We'll have a separate issue and we'll bring this up, and then she'll just bring it up like, well, if I didn't have to pay for blah blah blah. So that kind of like it didn't bother me her making more, because I want her to be successful, and it only pushed me to work harder, especially in the beginning in our relationship. So, but her throwing it in my face kind of was just like, okay, I thought we were a team, you know what I'm saying? I thought we were together. So that kind of put a huge dent on our relationship, and I'm not gonna say that it caused me to cheat, but it definitely kind of made me start.
And did the I want not necessarily trust. It made you feel some kind of way that she felt. A lot of women do that. A lot of women throw, what they make, what they do. I'm independent. I'm
Right.
this. I'm that. They throw that in the male's face,
Right.
and then it's. I don't know if it's like putting them down
Right.
or.
And it may not even be intentional, but at the same time, we've had conversations about her, and then she'll do it in public, like in front of our family, my family, her family, stuff like that. So it got really ugly at times.
Wow.
to where like, I kind of shut down and was just like,
Fuck it, bro.
fuck it, like
That now, I'm just want to say that is the true disrespect. A lot of people are going to like be like, I just definitely feel that that's total disrespect. When you have a team, when you're working together, when you're doing, I don't think that should come up as an option for you to throw things in each other's face. I feel like that's the time you sit down and you talk about it.
Right.
I just really feel that that was a loss, on her end. And I definitely have to side with you. I don't know the whole story,
Right.
but
I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
So pretty much, our biggest financial disagreement was more of a lifestyle disagreement.
Okay.
She is more of a work, go to work, 9 to 5, make a paycheck, pay your bills, go home, and that's not me. I'm a dreamer. I have visions of something way greater than that. So although the money wasn't coming in right away, at the moment, I had a bigger vision that I feel like she didn't buy into, and she didn't believe, because she doesn't see outside the box. She thinks about tomorrow and not next year, and she wants to, and all my bills were paid. It's not like I couldn't live, but I got tired of working just to pay bills, just to work to pay bills, and that's not how I wanted to live. So I started my own business in 2017. Which it takes a lot of groundwork, and it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of money going out, and the money doesn't always come in right away. And she had a huge issue with that. And we had a joint account in addition to our separate accounts, but a lot of money was going into it, and she wasn't seeing instant. She's one of those instant gratification people, and I told her it's a process. You just gotta trust it and just be there for it. And she wasn't 100% on board, even though she said she was. She wasn't. So, fast forward to 2019, I'm making way more than her, and we're no longer together. And
Wow.
my business is thriving. Like,
Is it the one that you started, or is it something else?
when I
What?
started. So it's
Wow.
like everything is starting to come together, and that's what we were meeting about today when we met you guys. So it's like that's my company that we're working on.
So then, did she not give you any support for your business? That's another issue
Right.
that we all face as women, giving that man support or that man giving us support. So basically you're saying she really didn't have any goals or dreams or things like that herself?
Exactly.
Okay, so then in
Her
turn,
goal-
you
her
were the
goal-
only one that had that goal or dream.
Her goal and dream was to make enough money to pay bills and support the family, and that was it. And I just wanted something much greater than that. And I feel like she was just, and that's a conversation that needs to be had early in the relationship.
Oh,
Yes.
And it definitely should have been discussed early in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's just a conversation that was had too late.
When do you discuss it? Do you feel you should discuss it?
I say first date.
Dating?
First
Okay.
date. First
Okay.
date. Like, I mean, what else are we talking about on the first date? You know?
But also though, like women gotta be real with themselves. Like, yeah, women say like I'm a dreamer, I want to do this, I want to do that, but like there's no action behind it. There's no, thriving behind it. Like opposite end of the spectrum, like I said earlier. When I was married, I got these huge refund checks because of the investments and stuff I did. So I had big returns every year. So for the first time when we filed together, I was like, okay, we have this amount of money. So I gave her like $8,000. I was like, here, get yourself out of debt, do this, do that. Sounds like some beautiful stuff, right? Mm-hmm. She gets herself out of debt, and when she finished paying off the debt, first thing she went, bought furniture. Didn't invest in herself, didn't do nothing. So now, month 2 months after giving her $8,000, hey, I need money for this. So sometimes you can drain somebody. So somebody can help you, and then they can still drain you at the same time.
And did she acknowledge any?
No.
Was she was not? She was the same as his wife, his ex-wife, not having a dream, or what was it?
It's the opposite.
It was.
I'm his ex-wife in their relationship. It sounds weird, but like, but much different.
Okay.
It was
I wasn't like draining my wife for her money. I had my own money, but it was just, it was as far as like he wants to just kind of build something, be stable, like let's do this, and that's how my wife was.
Right, because it was like also like in another situation, she was like, "Hey, I want to get a part-time job." I'm like, "For what?" And she was like, "She'll make $200." I was like, "I got a better way of making $200." I went, so I have this connection in China, had them send me some shipments of these leggings. They were glow-in-the-dark leggings, and there was like some 4K race coming up that was like a glow-in-the-dark race or something. So I was like, babe, you can sell these and you can make $600, and you don't have to work half the hours. You don't have to work these slave hours. So you make an extra $400. And I was like, you can keep it. Like, keep it all. That's for you. She didn't sell one pair of those. One pair. Didn't sell a pair. And then I went and sold the pair. I went and sold them just off the strength of just me hey, you want some pants? You want some? You want some? Like, whatever. Just get my money back plus a little extra. And then, hey, I saw you sold some of them. Let's do this. Let's do this with that money. Right. So you can want to do things without wanting to put in the work to get those things. And it was hell on earth trying to explain that.
So she was a dreamer. She just had no.
It was not even a dreamer. It was a drainer. It was spend. It was just spend.
She kind of like
it was never towards like put money towards something that actually means something.
Yeah.
Like buying furniture for a new house was like that was the thing that meant something. I'm like, that doesn't appreciate.
And that's one thing I will say. Everything, all the money that I put towards my business was money that I made. I never asked my wife for $500 or $1,000 to help me, try to achieve a dream, and I'm just taking from her. She had her money, and I never touched her money. She would give me money for food or something, like if we got close to, how if you live check to check and you don't have enough, you get paid Friday, so you're like, oh, just, I'll get dinner tonight type stuff. But it was never, I never asked her for money, anything like that. But yeah,
Something
it was just
sit well with me about your story. No offense to you,
No,
but
no,
it's
no.
just like,
Sure.
if a man has vision, I don't see how a woman couldn't support it. Like, I've
That's
supported
both of us.
all the dreams that have never survived. So,
Because they don't see it. Because like for
You
instance,
can't- yeah.
like my biggest thing was Bitcoin when it first came out. So Bitcoin I found out about back in like 2014, right? So I was just like, let me buy a few of these, and now we know what Bitcoin did today. So when I was buying some and I was investing, I'm like, babe, this is how I do it. Get you a Coinbase account. Here, buy some. Here's $1,000. Get you a Bitcoin. She'll sell the $1,000, use the $1,000. It was like stuff like that. And I'm like, you're not even looking towards the future. And I was like, you have a Gucci purse, but you don't have nothing in your 401k. Like what? Like there's a problem here. But she was not understanding it. But this didn't come out during the times of us dating.
so
She was more reserved and more like, okay. She got the ring. Now it's a whole different ballgame.
But that's another story for another
Right.
day.
That's
Wow.
I understand.
You guys actually have it together, and I want to say that there's a lot of women out here that are independent and they complain, I can't find this or that. And here we have just two people, you know, and I'm not saying you guys are regular, but you guys are normal.
Right.
You know, you just normal guys who have goals and dreams.
Right.
And, you know, you hooked up with women that just,
Didn't.
they didn't connect.
How long were you married? Brandon?
8 months.
What? 8
Yeah.
months?
Now that story, I don't even think we have
How
enough
long
time
were you
for all that.
dating?
2 years.
And did you guys express, I mean, when you started dating them, was it expressed, you know, like you said, it should have been expressed in the beginning what you really wanted to do? What did you guys talk about?
At
Or
the same time, did you even know what you really wanted to do when y'all first started dating? That was 7 years ago. Like,
So this is that's where our relationships differ, because me and my ex-wife met in college.
Okay.
And I was 22, she was 19, so we were like 3 years apart. So I was 22, she was 19, and like shit, I was playing college basketball. She was a freshman. Like I didn't really like know exactly what I wanted to do. Like my plan after that was to play pro, go overseas, do whatever I need to do. And now that I said that, we can get to the first year that we were dating, she got pregnant. So that's when I had because my daughter just turned 5 in May. So my daughter's 5. So after a year we were dating, she got pregnant and we had my daughter. So then we, you know, things got more serious after that. Of course, me stepping up and being in the household with her and doing what I need to do with that, knowing that everything between her and, you know, me and her mother weren't on the best terms. So
did you think that was entrapment?
I didn't think it was entrapment. It's not that I didn't want to be with her and she was like, oh, well, you ain't never seen your kid. But no, I wanted to be with her and at least, you know, give it a shot and give it a try to go the distance. So
I can vouch for that too.
so, I mean, I definitely did the best I could. I turned down 2 contracts to play overseas for a good amount of money, that because I wanted to be there for my daughter, for the birth, for the first year, the second. You know, those are time you can't get back, especially with your first child. So after that, when she turned 3, you know, I'm out of shape, you know. I'm definitely like, you know, I done got all this dad weight. We eating out all the time. Like, you know, I'm really like not the same player I was. So it took a while to kind of get back to that level, and I just turned it up a notch since we separated. But that's different. But yeah, so it kind of changed my whole career. So my whole life I've been an athlete. Played 4 sports in high school. Played college basketball, ran track. And that's all I've ever known, and that's all I've ever been good at. So when I met her and we got together and she got pregnant, and now I'm a father, now I'm not playing. I don't know where to work because I'm like I've only known basketball. So that was kind of me just trying to find myself. And she's like, you need to get a job. You need to work a 9 to 5. You need to do this, and this. And I'm like, you know, I still had dreams other than basketball, within basketball, that I wanted to do: coach, referee, train, you know, build a whole empire. So that's what took time and what took money, which is what's coming to light now, that unfortunately, she won't be a part of.
So what type of woman would you say would have been good for that person back then? What type of woman, you know, would have been able to fit in with your lifestyle?
Either another hooper, another woman that also played sports and understood the time sacrifice, because that was another thing in college. Like, she wanted to be under me all the time, and I had games, practice, workouts, camps, study, which I didn't do too much of because I didn't graduate like that. So different stuff like that, and either somebody that had the same schedule as me that understood the same sacrifice, or just somebody a little bit more mature that understood, that just respected my time and really like understood what I was trying to do going forward. Because I feel like she had her mind made up on what kind of guy she wanted, and I wasn't that, and she tried to make me that for 7 years.
Ooh,
So
wow.
she wanted somebody that's just gonna go to work, make good money, pay the bills, have a little extra money here to take one vacation a year, family vacation. And that's not me. I want to take 7, 8, 9, 10 vacations. I want to be on vacation more than I'm here.
Buy a house out the country.
You know, like, right. So, and I'm gonna do that. So
Let me also ask, like, do you think you'll ever go back to her?
oh no, that's dead.
Is
Have
there?
you been separated?
2 months now, 3 months.
So
Right.
are you healing, or did you heal throughout the relationship?
Oh,
Like,
I healed. I checked out.
Okay.
I checked out midway through it, and I can admit to that.
See, that's why I say some people get out of a relationship and go right into
And
the
go
next.
right into the
Because
next
you're
one.
already in.
Because you've already
You already
checked out.
checked
Yeah.
Yeah. Brandon, so are you healed yourself?
Oh yeah, I'm super healed. Like
how
I'm all the
have
way
you
good.
been?
The marriage definitely changed my perspective on a lot of things, but I am healed.
Okay.
How long have you been out of your marriage?
I don't know, about 2 years now.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've had a
Like a minute.
chance.
Yeah, he's had a little more time, but I mean, I probably checked out probably a year or so ago. So,
Wow.
I mean, I've been good. It was just a matter on, you know, how I wanted to handle the situation, but, yeah.
So what really, I didn't get a chance to ask, and I'm trying to make sure I ask every question. So how do you, so right now at this point, how do you feel about providing for a woman completely?
I'll
Even
answer that
if,
one.
I just,
Let me
I
answer
just
that
want to
one.
know how you feel. How has that, how has that shaped you now? Now that, you have everything, and your situations, both of you guys' situations are totally different now. So how do you feel about providing for a woman now? So I mean the traditional, okay, I got this bill, this, and that. And maybe the woman's, maybe she's got her own, just
Right.
like you want it. It's all how you want, but how you feel about that.
So I'll answer that one. It's like, okay, so a lot of women don't have big brother or dad or uncle to be like real frank with them. You don't want no dude paying for all your stuff. It's too much leverage. If me personally, right, I can afford to get me a college girl, 21 years old, pay a little tuition, get a little car, come over to the crib, we do what we do, whatever. At any point in time, the second she pisses me off, all that's snapped away. Do you really want to live like that? You're literally living off the fact that you look good today. That is not how you want to live. And in this Atlanta lifestyle of I look good, so I should be taken care of, is really screwing a lot of them up, because we see, like, we don't know the effects of it now. Like, but when we get 40 and you look back and you be like, oh, what is she doing now? Oh, she ain't got nothing. She ain't doing nothing. Oh, she's still a bottle girl. Like, you have to get yourself out there. So you have to at least progress. If you're gonna be a bottle girl, own the club. If you're gonna be a stripper, strip until you can write a book about it. Like, do something. Like, just get out of that rut. Like, that's not gonna last forever. But if you invest, if you building your business, if you're doing this, you're doing that, that's gonna last forever.
Well, there's this thing called hypergamy. I don't know if y'all know what it is. Right?
Hypergamy?
Dating up socially.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically these women want the men to pay for everything.
Right.
And
Okay.
and they're financially stable as well. They just want somebody who is like in the 1%, like you said. I forgot where I was going with this.
How do you feel about that?
Like, I just don't understand it, like you said. I mean, because it's a thing of women, they say, okay, men say, what do you bring to the table? And it's like, my feminine self. All right, that's this hypergamy movement. And it's like blowing my mind that so many women are following this trend, like dumbing themselves down. Like, literally, women are like, I'm going on dates and I don't even tell them I'm a doctor or I'm a lawyer. Just so they can get in and, live this lifestyle. But where's the love? Where's the like, what if it frustrates me?
And that's why and like chivalry's not dead. Like, do I want to go and buy a chick some roses, surprise her at work? Hell yeah, I want to do that. But you can't, because she might have 3 other dudes doing it as well.
Why do y'all believe, because you said this already,
Huh?
why do you think that women have so many men?
Because they do.
No,
No, right? Okay.
I'll be honest.
And
I like some of my homies. Like I hang with some girls who are like network engineers and software developers, like high up there. They got multiple dudes. I'll be real with you. Like they're my homegirls.
Don't get me wrong. Not generalizing, and I'm not putting y'all two in it because I'm sure you two are nice, respectful young women. But I have 3 sisters, all older than me, so I know how women move. They may not act on it, but they're there. They're there. You know what I'm saying? You got guys that text you all the time. You two might that you don't respond. You know what I'm saying? So like, but at any moment, if you wanted to go out with him, you would respond and y'all would go out. Or at any moment, if you wanted to go over there and have dinner with him at his house, you could. They're there. I'm not saying you're sleeping with 7, 8 guys at a time. I'm not saying that you're over there every night, you know, but they're there and you have them. Like a guy will legitimately have nobody hitting his lineup, like nobody. Girls may not have the person that they want hitting their line, but they got people hitting their line at all times.
Are you serious?
It just
First of all, women definitely believe guys are not faithful at all. Period.
Why would they think that?
Oh my goodness.
No, like for real, honestly.
You have. We just.
Now we're gonna have to pull the zodiacs out.
And
I'm
we
trying
just
to
finished
wait.
a video about them having summer bunnies.
Yeah.
We just finished a video about how they mess with you all summer, and when the winter time comes, they're looking to go get under the covers with somebody.
Like growing up, me and him grew up in Stone Mountain. Home a lot of lawyers, doctors, very affluent black people. Mm-hmm. So we're nowhere close to being hood, right? So with me being in IT, with the way I speak, with the way I talk, everybody say you're not black enough, you're not hood. Like I fall in that category, right? So when white women approach me, I'm that thing that they've always wanted.
Wow. Do you interracially date?
I have. And I'll be honest, like my best relationships have actually been with Asian women.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
But is there something special about Asian?
It's a different way that they treat you. It's none of that like combativeness. It's like just like, hey, I'm happy to see you. Hey. But in my time of dating a lot of black women, it's like he must be up to something. Like if I'm in the gym, like let's say if I'm hooping, right? Because I hoop every single day after work, right? So I go and hoop from like 5 to about 8 or 9, right? I'll come home, it'll be like a joke, like, who you out there with, right? Simple joke, right? Keep doing it, who you out there with? Eventually, she started really believing I'm really out there with somebody.
So it's a trust issue.
Yeah, it's
Out
really
the
a trust
door,
thing. Like
out the door.
like you really cannot go and simply play basketball, stay in shape, come home without her thinking
Without the
that.
trust. Okay. So that sounds like from the beginning, women have trust issues. Just right out the door.
You're saying black
Right.
women.
I'm saying black
women
women.
have trust issues.
So I can't even say like with my wife, right? So I did this thing where I'll play in basketball tournaments. I'll go to China, I've been to Hawaii, I've been like out the country playing in basketball tournaments, right? Make good money, could play for like a week, come back. Every single trip, I promise you, every single one, there was an issue when I left the country. Every single time, never for them. When she left to go like to Cuba with her cousins, go to Charlotte with her friends, when she left, no issues, right? I feel like a lot of times people don't want you to do things that in that same situation, they will fuck up themselves.
Okay. Did she ever support you or ask to go with you on those trips?
So yeah, she definitely asked to come with me, but I couldn't. I'm not paying for that trip. Like that's the team paying for that. That's agent paying for that. I had no control over that.
Okay. So you weren't in a position to like, okay, just get a hotel room and I'll.
Yeah, like Chinese visas are $300.
Oh, okay.
That's
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
So,
What are you looking for?
Right. What are you guys looking for? Because we didn't ask that, I don't believe.
Yeah, you're both now.
Right. What are you looking for
And
in?
you've learned lessons.
It sounds crazy, but honestly, just peace. Like, I just want to come home. I just really want to come home and be happy to see you.
Yeah.
Like, if I can get that, I can probably deal with any other thing.
Yeah. I feel that because if you call me and I'm like, hey, that would, it's a different energy.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that. If you call somebody and you get the suspicion all the time, okay. So that definitely confirms that,
This is not gonna work.
yeah. And it's a lot of
Red
suspicion,
flags.
a lot of
Red
red flags. Okay.
Ooh, okay. What are you looking for? And then we're gonna do deal breakers.
Okay.
Right. Yes.
So since I'm still a little fresh
Yeah.
right now, at this exact moment, I'm looking for nothing. I'm not looking for anyone. I'm not even looking for sex. I'm not looking for anything. Like I don't even think about it. I'm so locked into what I'm trying to do and like everything I'm doing. Like I don't even,
It's not there.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not important to me at the moment. But when that time comes, I'm just looking for someone that's genuine. Someone I can, enjoy my time with. Somebody that is bringing something to the table. Like just someone that also has dreams. Like, and that's a question that I've been asking when I was going on dates. Like, you gotta. I want a girl that like has dreams. That's really trying to do something big. That's not just trying to, be a regular person in the world. Someone that's trying to
Change this.
Live.
right.
I told this guy that one time. He was like, I don't want to do it. I'm like, what do you mean? Right?
Right. And something else he said, like, and I've caught myself doing it too. Like, when you get out of a marriage, a lot of times you do everything that you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, how he said he wanted to start his business, like, that's probably the time I probably did the most investing. I started, I bought a crib. I bought a whole house.
Bought a whole house.
Like in a prominent area, and it's like you really that couple of months you really just take off. It's like boof, and I even told, and I think I put in, I asked him and some of the other homeboys. I was like, at some point I felt like she was holding me back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It was
Right,
toxic.
but like not even just like from my situation, but I wonder if that's like how a lot of guys feel, because like a lot of times guys sacrifice a lot. To when they get into a marriage and they commit themselves to a relationship, they sacrifice a lot. So you're sacrificing finance. If you have a guy who's paying 100%, he's sacrificing his finances, sacrificing his time, sacrificing his dreams. So then when he gets rid of you, all that comes back.
How would you structure the relationship between someone that does have their stuff together and you? How would you deal with that? How would you structure that relationship?
As far as what, the time and everything?
Yeah, as far as the time you spend, as far as, what about helping that person with their business, them helping you with your business, how would you structure that?
As long as you can take care of your bills. Like don't, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
don't ask me for help with your car note, or don't
So
ask me for help for
you're
your.
kind of like more of a what's yours is yours and what's
Yeah.
mine is mine.
Yeah, and then if we're doing something together, or we're trying to build something together, or if you have something that you're trying to pursue and I have something I'm trying to pursue, that's cool, that's different. And I feel like with my relationship, with us meeting in college and neither one of us having anything, and us kind of just living together because of the child right away, I felt like that kind of set us back in our relationship. And I've always wanted to, like, I never got a chance to have my own place. You have your own place. We date, we go back to our own place. We date, like, that's refreshing. Like, we've literally lived together. Like, when we met, I stayed off campus in an apartment because that's where most of the basketball team stayed. And she lived on campus. So we met probably like the first week of school that semester. I was already there. She was a freshman. She was at my apartment every day the rest of the semester. So she basically lived there. And then that summer, we got an apartment together. And then that fall, we found out she was pregnant. And then that spring, my daughter was born. We moved back. We left school, moved back, and got an apartment here in the Atlanta area. And was to get, like, we lived together. We were together. We dated for 7 years, or for not 7 years, we married at the end. But we lived together from the jump, and we never had our own space.
Yeah.
And it's like that's so vital in a relationship.
Make me miss you.
Yeah, I feel like I was suffocated early, and I went from being a single college athlete to like married like that. And it was a tough adjustment for me, and I didn't have enough time to really learn how to be in a relationship, like a real relationship. And that made me make mistakes early in our relationship that kind of followed me the whole way through. So
did you cheat early?
I did early.
And maybe that's why she didn't like the vision.
Yeah.
Because she didn't trust you, so she couldn't trust your vision.
Yeah, and that's part of it too. And a lot of the vision required traveling, required stuff. So like, oh, you ain't going here for 2 days and leave and not being like, I don't trust you, basically like that. So. I mean, and I get it, but if that's the case, we don't need to be together.
I get it too, but like I never cheated, and I still got in trouble for cheating, which is the wildest thing to me. So
Wow.
it's like so,
Yeah.
so it's both ways. Like you could cheat or you could not cheat.
Yeah.
You're still gonna be accused of cheating.
You are.
Yeah.
Because after, yes, I did cheat, but there was like 30 times after that where I didn't. and, you know what I'm saying? And like, was like, where was you? Why you ain't answer the phone? Where? Who's this? Who's this? I liked your picture on Instagram. Like, it was just like, yeah, I fucked up in 2014, but at the same time, it's 2017, and I'm still like getting berated with like questions and like, you know, just every little thing's a big deal. A girl texts my phone, it's a big deal, even if she just said hey or how you been. Now it's a big deal.
Conversation on that.
Exactly. So.
Like.
So, did you ever let her know? That's my question here. Was she ever notified that things are falling apart and we're not going in the same direction? I need to talk to you about this. Was she ever notified?
Yeah, and we had split up. Like, this is before we got married.
Okay.
We had split up. You know, we talked about everything that was going on. It was like a huge build up, and like I kind of broke it off, and she kind of like went psycho mode and like, you know, went crazy and was like throwing stuff, driving crazy, it was like a whole crazy episode. But yeah, it was kind of scary. But yeah, so everything was laid out on the table, and we both talked about what we didn't like that the other person was doing and how we were going to improve on it, and it just didn't get better after. Even after the marriage, it didn't get better. So it just had to.
Was there any therapy here? No. Nobody ever proposed the idea?
Yeah, I don't believe in therapy.
Okay.
I tried therapy, but it just didn't.
Was she
we
notified?
were trying to go, but it was just the fact of getting her to go.
She didn't want to go?
So it was her idea, and I was like, okay, cool, but she never scheduled an appointment. I'm like, if I'm paying for it, at least schedule an appointment.
Crazy, wasn't she?
Right. It's so crazy to me. Like,
Wow.
Are women too independent now? I mean, is that intimidating the women who are
Right.
is
not intimidating.
Depending on who you
It's
are.
like annoying.
it's annoying?
It kind of okay. So imagine if a dude walked around and is like, "Shit, I got my own money. I got my car. I can do this by myself. I can do this." But you gonna look at him as he's a dickhead.
Yeah.
You reverse it. That's exactly how y'all sound.
As long as she's not throwing it in your face constantly. If you're independent and self-sufficient, that's great, and that's
I will
wonderful.
see it. You don't have to tell me.
That's true.
I will see
It
it.
is true.
Okay, so you're not afraid of independent women.
No,
No.
no,
Okay. So they don't intimidate you.
no.
It's okay for them to be independent as long as they're not saying, "Hey, I don't need you."
Yeah, if you're not, as long as you're not reminding me every day that you don't need me, that's great. I understand that. You
Okay.
know? But I mean, that's a good thing, honestly, because I don't know too many men that want to sign up for paying other people's bills in addition to theirs, or have a woman come in and just kind of live off of him right away. Like, I want to. Part of us dating is me seeing that you aren't living with, you You know, and there's nothing wrong with living with your parents or living with a friend if you're in between like stages trying to get to where you're trying to
Or
get.
if you're saving.
Yeah, or if you're saving.
Because like I'm
yeah.
renting out my house to like 2 of my other homeboys
Yeah.
because they're saving for bigger and better. So I'm
Yeah.
like,
But just have a
take
plan.
that.
That's all I'm saying. Just have a plan.
You guys are very, I mean, some really, really smart gentlemen. I mean, wow. You've been through a lot.
And divorced,
For,
which is crazy.
yeah.
smart and divorced.
Not yet.
I'm 29.
We'll both be 30 next year.
Yep.
Wow.
Y'all so young.
Wow.
Yeah, we've been through a lot early.
Yes. So, ladies.
Our handles on Instagram, they're single.
Yeah, they look, yeah.
But no, we yeah, like we have like a circle of friends that we've all known each other since like middle and high school, and
All from athletes,
all of them
managers,
athletes,
like
yeah, and it's like we all have a group chat, and like we're like team divorce because we're the only two in the group chat that have been married. The other ones barely can be in a relationship, and you know we always have these type of conversations in our group chat
about like how I'll never be divorced. I'm like, bro,
yeah,
don't
we're
say
trying
never.
to give them,
like,
we're trying to give them our perspective, and they're like, oh, well, if they're talking to me like, well, if you was gonna cheat, why be in a relationship? Or talking to him like, you know, well, why, if you knew she was a gold digger in the beginning, why would you do this, that, and third? And it's like, you know, it's hindsight. Everything's hindsight. So, I mean, we learn from it, honestly. And
Wow. What advice would you give to older men that are
older men,
Yeah, because older men, there's older men that do not think like you.
Ooh, okay. So now I'm 30, and now if I had to envision myself at the same rate, if I'm 40, 45, I'm single, possibly making the kind of money or having the kind of money, I wouldn't see the point in being married.
Okay.
In all honesty.
But you're an Aquarius now, so you're good alone.
Oh,
Yeah.
it might be it too. But honestly, like, I wouldn't see the point. Like if you, for instance, okay, most millionaires are like made between the ages of 35 to like 45, 50, right? So if I'm 45, I'm sitting on like $500,000 or $1 million. Why would I fork that up? Like honestly, why?
Okay, so you would have to do the prenup thing if somebody
Prenups still don't cover everything.
okay.
You cheat, you still paying half. Like,
Okay.
so why? Like
wow.
at that point, I'm at the top of the mountain.
yeah, if
Why
you
would
ever
I
have
want to
somebody
have
that
money?
has been there through
Oh,
everything,
okay.
like
Yeah,
saying,
that's
like,
different.
Yeah.
That's different.
He's saying if you're saying if you're already at the point, you're an older woman. I mean, you're an older man. You've made it to where you want in life.
In
and then you meet
Atlanta,
somebody-
1-to-30 ratio.
Right.
Ah,
3-month thing.
wow.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
The 3 months. Okay, because I feel in 3 months of dating somebody, you know if you want to be with them or not.
I think it's
Right.
sooner than that.
Exactly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
I have a friend. One of my close friends. He said 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He said 2 weeks, and that's if you're seeing them on a regular basis.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
in 2 weeks, you know if it's somebody you want to date. Now, marriage is different. Of
Right.
course, just you got to live with them or see how they live at least, and you know. That's different, but to see if you want to be with somebody, like first of all, physical attraction is on the spot that
Right.
first time.
Right.
So like that's a check or an X,
Right.
and then you know just conversing with them
Yeah.
through dates here and there, seeing how they conduct themselves in public, how they dress. You know, I say in 2 weeks, you know if it's somebody you would consider taking serious and continue.
So you definitely feel in
Yeah,
It's two way. Well, for me, it's two way because I've seen both. I've seen somebody like I was like, okay, like I like you, we kick it off. But like there was this one girl, resume on paper, she was amazing. Like I'm talking about medical field, high 6-figure earner. She's amazing on paper, right? I was dating her for like a while, and I was just like, something just doesn't sit right. Like I liked her physically, like I thought she was gorgeous. You know, we had fun together. It's just like it was just something that wasn't there, and I could not get over it. I just couldn't. It was just like something didn't click right. No, not really. And there was nothing wrong with her. It's just
You just had a gut feel.
yeah, it's a good feeling.
wow.
But when you know.
Yeah.
So
But that was after like 4 or 5, 6 months. I'm like, maybe I'll figure it out because I still have fun. I still like enjoy talking to her on the phone. Like if she hit me up now, I'll still hang with her. It's just it was that. Like, I don't know. Maybe she didn't show me something or do hang out. I don't know. It just,
How'd you break
it was
it
just a
off?
piece. Just slowly, just.
Ghosting.
That's not ghosting. That's just
No,
like,
no,
we talk
no,
like,
no,
hey,
no.
hey, okay. Hey, bye, okay.
Have you guys ever ghosted?
Oh, yeah, all the time. Yeah, all the time.
Wow.
I'll be honest. I'll tell you the last time I ghosted. It was this girl in Charlotte. I'll never forget. She was smoking. So I don't smoke weed. I don't drink or nothing like that, right? So she hits me up. She's like, so I go up there, visit, hang out with her. I noticed like she smokes to go to sleep every night, right? And I was just like, yeah, you smoke a lot. And she was like, well, if you don't like me smoking, and this is over. I was like, didn't talk to her since. And then she hit me up on Facebook also, oh, why are you responding? How come this and that? I'm like, I'm not even gonna respond because you said what you said.
Right.
You said, I can't handle it. Peace out. I was like, cool.
Yeah, I've ghosted recently. too.
Oh wow.
I mean, I met a girl, texting her, just kind of like, here and there, just, good conversation, getting to know her, all this and the third. And we had never like met face to face or went out or anything. And she, I guess, so I don't know if it counts as ghosting or what, but are we just talking about like
Just
conversation?
ghosting in general, just cutting somebody off the blue.
Yeah, so basically she had texted me and asked me to cash up her $50 and that she'll pay me back. And that was the last message we had.
Wow.
Where? Like what?
So, yeah.
Wow.
So I went ghost quick. That was like maybe 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Man,
So lady.
y'all in this cash app. That was the worst thing ever.
Really do that?
Yo, I promise
thought it
you,
was like a
I can show you my phone like dead, like it was. When did I post that message? 3 days ago? Yo, I haven't talked to this girl in months. First thing she's like, hey, can I get $20? I have an emergency. First off, no emergency's ever $20. Like an emergency's $1,000. That's an emergency.
Or $200. I had a girl
right?
ask me. I can show y'all the message. I had a girl ask me today for $200. It's an emergency.
Oh,
But I didn't ghost her because we're actually cool. I just told her no.
Right.
I told her I can send 20. That's all.
Like that cash app, like yo,
I'm about to get bold on y'all niggas out
Yeah.
here for real. Because
No, for real, they do. And then you'll be surprised how many guys send it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Are you serious? I am just floored
Like, if it ain't my
that they
closest
are
homie,
even
I'll
asking it that and they're giving. That's wow. Wow. I am just outdone.
How long y'all been talking? How long?
I mean, I've known her since college, but
Okay.
we were never that close to ask for $200.
Yeah.
It's only like 5 people that can ask me for $200.
Right.
And I would give
I
it.
give.
I don't even know
Like
if
I'm
I-
cool with you. I don't mind giving money. Like that's no problem. It's just like don't not talk to me for months and then
Right.
your first thing is
Come on.
$20. Like you know what I mean? Like it's not like if I didn't talk to him for months and he asked me for 20, that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
So it's not. It's just the fact of like we're not on that level.
Yeah.
So let me ask real quick, if you're not consistent in dating, does that mean you're not into them and you're not interested? A lot of men tend to not be consistent when they first date someone, and it's like it's like they'll text here and there, or they'll text you. Some men will come right out and be like, hey, I'm cooking breakfast at my house. Would you like to come by?
Yeah.
That's a hell to the no. But to me, I just feel like men, if they're not interested, do you get like when you, I don't know, it just seems like it's a gap in between.
I think it's definitely, and I can answer this, and this is guaranteed. It's one of 3 things. He's either genuinely busy as far as like his schedule between work and like probably another work that's like something he's trying to like pursue and all of that. It's either he's not interested. That's an option too, and he's just kind of like giving you the runaround, or he's like dating so many girls that you just kind of wait till your turn. It sounds bad.
I'm not gonna say wait till your turn. Because like me, if I can talk to you, but if it's like just dry ass text messages, like I'm not entertaining that. Because like
and that will fall under not interested. But sometimes you are interested, but there's just 5 other girls that he's also interested in. And it's only but so many days in a week, and it's only but so much money in his pocket. So when he got to space it out. No, real talk.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
No, because I went through that when I first separated from her and I started dating. Like, yeah, it was like 4 or 5 girls that were cute that I did want to take out, but shit, I don't have I got all my
Average
money.
of $40.
Right. All my money needs to be going to my business and
Yeah.
you know trying to do what I need to do. Like, and it's like I can't take her out Thursday and her out
Like, would
Friday.
you go to
and her out
Starbucks
Saturday
on the
and her
first
out-
date? Probably not.
Wow.
I think I
So
did.
I had to space
the
it
last
out,
time.
definitely. So
Okay.
like, it's not that I wasn't interested in her,
Uh-huh.
but we went out Saturday. I took another girl out maybe that Thursday,
Okay.
or maybe then another girl out that Saturday, and then that same girl from the first Saturday, probably that following. You know, so it just I had to space it out
Wow.
and or space my budget out.
Coming up on the next Love Scope.
I pay for it.
So how do you feel about that? Do you feel like, when do you feel like it's time for the girl to pay?
If she cooks, I'll pay every time.
Yeah.
Okay.
If most
We
of
go
our
out, I
men,
pay, we stay, and
yeah,
you cook. Yeah, that works.
right.
Okay.
I'll pay every single time you cook.
Wow. Oh,
I'll probably throw groceries in there.
oh, speaking of, that's what I was gonna say.